it's time to stop. No more Scourge, I'm done with this. I can't take it anymore. It's impossible, I don't want to do it, it's a waste of time. It's summer, what am I doing sitting inside the house? What am I doing sitting inside the house? Playing a fucking Scourge that you have to pay to win? Pay to win, really? You have to pay to win. Get more levels, get more red stars, get more whatever. It requires 0 skill. You can take 5 teams to a single node. A single node, 5 teams. How is this any kind of skill? It's not. It's not, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter. So I'm gonna stop it because I had enough. I'm not gonna waste more time on this nonsense. Okay guys, so I took your challenge, you asked me to do difficulty 9, and there we go, I did difficulty 9. I got to the last node and I can't beat it because I don't have enough characters. I don't have characters leveled up enough. I don't have characters with enough red stars. And that's fine, that's fine. I'm not gonna waste money on this nonsense. Like I mentioned on my video 1 week ago, if I get top 1000, even top 1500, that's good enough for me. A 6 yellow star, 10 shards rogue, it's going to be as good as a 6 yellow stars, 290 shards rogue. And from experience, we know that a 5 yellow, 5 red can beat a 7 red, 7 yellow. So it's irrelevant, it's irrelevant. If you have the good strategy, the yellow stars and red stars don't matter so much. That's why they have to make these nonsense. They have to make this combination of characters, or like in node 6, to try to convince you that you need more power. You need more power. No, you don't need more power. You need to get smarter and don't let this predatory company play with your mind. They are just tricking you into believing that this is important. This is not important. You can do just fine by doing less. You are still going to be fine. 5 yellow stars, 5 red stars, rogue is going to be fine. 6 yellow stars, 5 red stars, rogue is going to be fine. So it's time to stop. But again, I took your challenge to do this on difficulty 9 and I wasted at least 6 hours on the node number 5 and I still don't have any character beyond level 85. I did gear up my American Chavez against my own will, but yes, I had to do it. I used American Chavez at level 65 for a long time because as it seems there is some bug with American Chavez HP that even at level 65 she is incredibly beefy. Anyway, we are going to take a look at the run that I did, except this node. Maybe you can take a look a little bit at this node and see what happens. And that's it. I'm not gonna do any more videos on Scourge. It's fine, like 5 yellow, 5 red rogue is fine for me. 6 yellow, 5 red is good for me. I don't care. As long as I'm already saving for the next patch. I'm done with this patch. And this game mode, because it's not based on skill, it's just based on pay to win. It's the Scourge event, but it motivates you to do difficulty 10 without any Scourges or difficulty 9 without any Scourges, rather than do the Scourges. Why is it called the Scourge event and not the difficulty event? Much easier. And this concept of the Scourges was very, very good. It's similar. It's a copy-paste of Unreal Tournament from 20 years ago. Exactly the same. You have different modifiers that you can add to your gameplay, and that's great. That's the best part about this event. Now, climbing difficulties just for the sake of it, using 5 teams in a single node, it's so fucking ridiculous. And maybe this is only for me, but I have OCD about not one-shotting nodes. I feel ashamed when I don't one-shot nodes. So maybe you don't have this problem, but if I have to use 5 teams to one-shot a node, I'm telling that I'm a fucking loser. And yeah, I have problems with this. I have OCD about this. That's why I always try to one-shot every single node. I hope you understand this. I can't control it. It just pisses me off if I cannot one-shot a node. But either way, I use two teams on one or two nodes. We are going to take a look at that run and see how it went. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so here we go. We are on, let's get started. We are on node number 1, difficulty 9, and I use the usual suspects, the ones that I mentioned on my previous video. Spider Woman, Squirrel Girl, you want to charge up her ultimate, make sure that it's ready, and I even failed to do that, but that's fine. And you want to use Cloak, Dagger, and Shang-Chi. They are the best city characters in the game right now. As I mentioned before, you apply ability block to Polaris and you win the game. It's pretty much that. Okay, so Captain Sam does his nonsense. On difficulty hard, it's quite hard, especially if Sharon Carter is around, so you want to make sure that Captain Sam is not doing any funny stuff while Sharon Carter is around. Then you apply a bunch of blinds to everyone else. And this was my second try. This is not 100 million tries here. This is strategy. Use the team against the characters that you are facing and you win. Once again, I don't use the ultimate, I use the basic because I want to use the ultimate on the second turn. Okay, so you saw there Spider-Woman shield quite a lot. At this point she was still level 80, gear tier 15. After that I got her to level 85, gear tier 16, just to see if I was able to beat the last node. Spoiler alert, I didn't. Okay, so now we have Captain Sam with 4 buffs. I decided to use the special rather than use the ultimate because I want to use the ultimate against Longshot because I know I will be able to one-shot him. And that's it. Now I'm thinking, am I going to use the ultimate of Dagger or not? I decided not to, just use the basic. Like, it's Scourge event, you don't have to rush it. So just take your time and use your abilities when you need to, not when they are ready. You have to use your abilities when you need to use them. Okay, so we are slowly taking down this blob and the cable and the Negasonic. We have all of that. Juggernaut, he had disrupt before he taunted, so we have nothing to worry about. And you can see that between the healing with the Shang-Chi, Squirrel Girl and the Spider Woman and also Dagger, we have 4 characters that can heal themselves and heal others. Okay, so finally we have the second wave, and this is why I saved the ultimate of Dagger, so I can give big damage to the enemies. And here is the Squirrel Girl ultimate. 100% unnecessary. That was really dumb because after I was not able to recover the cooldown because yeah, Shang-Chi wrecks nerds. He completely destroyed everyone, so it was 100% unnecessary to use the ultimate from Squirrel Girl. It has very low damage multiplier, so it's irrelevant. Okay, as soon as Magneto drops down, you want to blind him you want to destroy him as fast as possible. You don't want him hanging around. And that's it. Then you have Captain Sam and Toad. You have one very tanky character and you have one very dodgy character. They are going to be good to reset your cooldowns. Now, as I mentioned before, this was my second try. I could have done better. I could have saved the cooldowns a little bit better and I could have kept Shang-Chi alive, but it's mostly irrelevant. It's unnecessary, and like I said, I'm done wasting time with this nonsense. Okay, so I even used the healing from Squirrel Girl. That was a little bit crazy, but she was so low that I was concerned that Captain Sam would go after her and destroy her. So I decided to play safe. Now I'm just going to try to get my cooldowns back. We don't have any more characters with heal block, so now you just have to do some tapa to get rid of these guys. But my dagger, she does way too much damage and I was not able to recover my cooldowns because of that. You can see like every time she assists or every time she attacks, she completely destroys everything. And yeah, because of that I was not able to get all the cooldowns. I needed one more turn to get all the cooldowns on Squirrel Girl, but that's fine. We will manage it anyway. Okay, let's go into the second node. Okay, so let's go. We are going to take a look at my special guests for this team. Very convenient, very helpful. Definitely worth zero investment, but they were still useful. We are going to use the AND team. We are going to use the master of all masters. We are going to use Nobu, the master of all the noobs. to sack the node, and then we are going to destroy the node, because this node is fairly easy. And that's it. Once again, I have OCD about one-shotting nodes, so for me this was big shame. If I was Japanese and if I was a samurai, I would stab myself after, because I had to use a sack team in order to beat these. Once again, it doesn't make any sense for me to talk about Scourge events or Scourge nodes or Scourge whatever when you are more successful by not using any Scourges. So what's the fucking point? What kind of game developer is this that it's like, oh, you want to play soccer but you don't use any balls? That's the game. Wow, very fucking nice. Okay, so we sacked the node with the end team. Now let's see if I do a proper try or not. Now we have the second attack on the second node. We used the hand team as a sack team, and now we are going to use Morbius, Ghost Rider, Dagger, Cloak, and Dr. Octopus. Why Dr. Octopus? Because he has Shocker, because he extends negative effects on the enemies, because he heals, because he applies slow that is unavoidable. Why not? Let me know why not. But yes, we don't want Greg to be next to Bishop, and then we want to apply Disrupt and Blind to Gambit, so he stops applying the heal blocks. Then you want to use the Morbius basic sometimes on characters with bleed, so he can regen if he has heal block. It's important to have as many characters alive as possible in case you want to two-shot this node. And yes, I could have cheesed it with symbiotes or whatever and sack the first node 5 times. Yes, that's possible too, but this requires a little bit more skill and more strategy. Okay, so Gambit is blinded, he has Disrupt, he has everything that we ever wanted. We have the second wave, but you see that most enemies got destroyed, and now we want to rush after Agatha. Agatha, very big problem, and especially with Wong, because she gives drain to Wong. And here I was using the Scourges that also give drain to the enemies to make it a little bit harder on difficulty 9, just to get some additional points. And you can see no problem here. Now I'm going to apply offense down to Agatha, so even if she attacks us, she is not going to kill too many characters. So offense down, defense down, and slow. Then whatever character, I don't know if it was Gambit or whichever character was there on the front, he died from Cloak's passive that steals 5% health from the characters at the end of his turn. And now we are going to kill a bunch of them, trying to focus on Agatha. So if we get a chain, we didn't got a good chain, it would be nicer for the other side, but we were able to finish off Agatha before she did way too much funny stuff. Now we go after Morbius, he's gone. Merkel T coming through with the speed up and the offense up, but we have 5 characters on the field. We have Cloak, Dagger, and we have also Dr. Octopus. So as long as we have those 3 characters, these core 3 characters, we are good to go, because they heal up so much and because they also apply negative effects that control the enemies. So as you can see, after we sack this node with the hand team, that's the level of skill I have. I use the fucking hand team to sack the nodes. After you use the hand team, now with the Cloak and Dagger and Dr. Octopus, we are easily able to defeat Wong, Dazzler, and Phantom X orange flavor. Okay, so you can see all these regens. This is the good thing about Dagger and Dr. Octopus. They have not only tons of utility, but they also have tons of HP, and those regens, they are worth their weight in gold. Okay, so I'm applying defense down, offense down, and slow to Wong, so he doesn't get any more drain or less than usual. And we finally go after Dazzler to finish her off. And the Phantom X, he has offense down, he has slow. They have no way of clearing those negative effects away, so there is no problem for us. Dazzler already used our cooldown, so we are good to go. Wong, he has very long cooldown, so we have nothing to worry about. More blinds. Dazzler, she can remove her own blind, and that's great, but we don't really care. Okay, so she's probably going to die with the bleeds. Yeah, she took her turn and she died with the bleeds. And you can see dagger from no health, from 0 health, from the gutter to the temple. So yeah, just like Riva, she went from the gutter to the temple, but she is a true queen, at least she knows how to act. Riva, unfortunately, not the case. Interesting character, but not the case, terrible acting. Okay, so we are finishing off Phantom X, orange flavor, maybe cherry flavor, can also be Phantom X cherry flavor. And now Cloak, once again, applying that big, slow defense down and offense down from his special, very, very strong 3 energy cooldown, and it really makes some work. So there we go, second node, 2-shot, and that's the way to go. Node number 3, the first mutant node, we are going to do exactly the same we did before. We are going to use Uncanny. Once again, all my Uncanny are level 75, level 80, level 80. All of them are trash tier, gear tier 14, gear tier 15 to some of them. So this is no pay to win situation. We have 2 stuns. We have 2 stuns. We don't even need the good RNG to get 10 stuns. We only need 2 stuns. That's good enough. As long as we have stun on dagger, we are good to go. Okay, so we are going to turn rewind the characters that are about to have their turns and that can kill our characters. And once again, this is all trash tier characters. Gear tier 14, gear tier 15 characters, level 80, nothing special. But we did the deed with Phoenix, then with Cyclops we did some big damage. And at this point in time, we can already lose. Look at all these characters, they are on their knees. So if we come here with the Astonishing X-Men, we are good to go, because all of them are going to give turn meter to the Astonishing X-Men because they are so low. So that's something to have into consideration. I was doing something. I think someone called me or something like that, and I had to stop for a second. But you can see that I'm getting as many characters as low as possible. So after, if I go with Astonishing X-Men, I can get more work through. I'm still going to use the ultimate from Storm just to make sure that I get the 2 characters here as low as possible. You see, with the Phoenix we did all of that. So we have Kate Bishop and we have dagger low enough. I just want to get the second wave, making sure that it drops, because if it doesn't drop, it's going to be a huge problem. Okay, so unfortunately it took me too long to die. Dagger deal up a little bit. I was really counting on being able to finish off that Kate Bishop to one-shot the node after. So let's see how it went after. Is it on the same clip? Let's see. Okay, so it is on the same clip. Once again, this is all one-shotted or 2 shots. It doesn't take 1 million tries to do this if you are using the proper strategy, if you know exactly what you are doing. You don't need to sack each of the fucking nodes with 10 teams to get through. Okay, so we used the Uncanny X-Men. Once again, 3 characters level 75, 2 characters level 80, 3 characters gear tier 14, other 2 characters gear tier 15. Now we are going to use Astonishing X-Men, and I'm going to use Rogue, but you don't have to use Rogue. If you use Kitty Pryde, you are probably better than I was. Okay, anyway, I like to use Rogue. She is pretty cool. She has the stun, and she also has this ability that needs a lot of focus. The special ability requires a lot of focus, otherwise she's going to fail quite a lot. Okay, so Bishop doing some big damage. My Bishop is gear tier 15, 6 red stars, level 85 I think. And now we only have 3 characters left, so hopefully we'll get the second wave. I'm not exactly sure if we are going to get it or not, but we are going to stun that dagger. We don't want any more dagger stuff. So finally, after we stun dagger, we get the second wave, and now it's when the party starts. So as you can see, Rogue at 3 yellow, gear tier 15, gear tier 16, but gear tier 15 is fine because it doesn't give any additional focus. At gear tier 16, 3 yellow stars, she did pretty well together with the Astonishing X-Men. If you prefer Kate Bishop, if you prefer Kitty Pryde, that's fine too. Okay, so at this point you can just put on auto, and this is all about killing Gregs. And you want to kill Gregs with abilities that attack all enemies or that attack adjacent targets. If your ability is like single target damage, like this one, these two abilities are single target damage, if that's going to be the case, you want to focus on Greg specifically. So that's going to be Jubilee Basic and Special, Bishop Basic and Special, and also Rogue Basic. Iceman and Beast, all of them have attack all or attack adjacent enemies, so you don't have to focus on Greg. And whenever you are not focusing on Greg, you want to apply blinds to as many characters as possible. And sometimes you can use the special of Jubilee if you are going to spread blinds, slows, or anything like that. If that's not going to be the case, then just forget about it. Now, what are the benefits of Rogue compared to Kitty Pryde? Rogue, she can apply a stun, she can apply the trauma, ability block, slow, defense down, and so on with her special. The stun is with her ultimate, and that's it. She doesn't give additional turn bar, and she gets turned rewinded more than everyone else, because while they get turn bar, they get 15% up, she gets 10% down. So that's something that is a little bit problematic. Once again, the stun and the ability block is very, very convenient. But if you are scared, if you are not sure about your skills, if you don't have the skills to pay the bills, then you want to use Kitty Pryde and just kill as many Gregs as possible and spam her special and her ultimate as often as possible. So there is nothing else here to see. I'm just gonna drag it to the end so you can see that it worked fine, blah, 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 blah. We kill all of them, we lower them as much as possible. And the last character you want to kill is Hela. You want to make sure that she's blinded, and you want to make sure that she doesn't have way too many regens, so you don't waste more time here. But this was like 8 minutes or so. So we did this 2-shot, that's good for me. Okay, so now we are going to take a look at the second mutant node and how you can one-shot it on difficulty 9. Okay, so here we go, node number 4, difficulty 9. We are going to one-shot it. Once again, I have OCD about one-shotting nodes. If I don't one-shot, I feel ashamed of myself. Maybe this is some trauma from childhood. We can talk about that in another situation, but maybe that's the case. And this is a team I used it like 3 days ago, the team that I told you about to use it. Because you have Weapon X characters, we have Marauder characters, and all of them together, they have additional benefits like additional HP, additional resistance, additional everything. As I mentioned before, you also want to apply ability block to Emma Frost because she is going to remove negative effects and you don't want that. Then they have a Madeline Pryor that she's going to ruin your day unless you can stun her. There was a saying back in World of Warcraft, back like in vanilla, WoW, that sapped girls can't say no, and that's the case for her. This is something that I don't condone or whatever. I don't support, but it's true. If she's stunned, she can't say no. And that's it. So we got the stun on Mr. Sinister, no problem. We have 2 Emma Frosts, because what's better than 1 Emma Frost? 2 Emma Frosts. What's better than 2 Emma Frosts? 3 Emma Frosts. What's better than 3 Emma Frosts? 4 Emma Frosts. So get as many Emma Frosts as you want, because you are on the DuArktik, so Arctic Frosts. You want as many Arctics as possible, you want as many Frosts as possible. And that's the way to go. So all of them have immunity. Now we're going to give offense up and more immunities. And as you can see, I'm not having any fucking problem in one-shotting this node. They're all full of offense downs, they're all full of bleeds, they are full of slows. You just have to be smart about it and know exactly when you have to use the ultimate or the special from Omega Red. Sometimes you have to use the special first, other times you have to use the ultimate first. Okay, so we have the 2 Emma Frosts. Once again, we are going to be careful with the real, not with the clone. We are going to be careful with the real because we want to make sure that she has all the cooldowns for the villain nodes in case we need her. I don't even remember if I need her or not, but it's a good scenario to have her alive. Okay, so Madeline Pryor is gone, Graviton is gone, Stallone, or whatever people call him, Sylvester Stallone, I'm not sure if it's Sylvester Stallone if it's or if it's someone else, I don't remember. but there is some funny joke about that. Okay, so you want to apply Trauma with ability block on Silver Samurai because you don't want him to taunt. You don't want Silver Samurai to taunt. If he has any negative effects, he's going to be able to clear them whenever he has his turn. So what you do with that, you give him childhood trauma, so he doesn't clear any negative effects. After that, you want to make sure you remove Emma Frost, so you finally have a bigger speed advantage. At this point, you had only 10%, now you have 20% speed advantage. And that's great, because thanks to that, your two Emma Frosts, the real one and the clone, they are going to clear all the negative effects that the Silver Samurai, Invisible Woman, and whatever that they are applying to you. No problem there. Mr. Sinister, level 80. He's healing like a boss. He's gear tier 15. Sabretooth, gear tier 15. He gets additional HP from... I think he actually doesn't get any additional HP. I think he gets additional armor from Silver Samurai, and he gets additional HP from Mr. Sinister. But he gets additional chance of attacks whenever there are abilities that don't attack, like the special and the ultimate from Emma Frost. Okay, so as you can see, I think here I was texting or something, so it drags for a little bit, so let's move on just a little bit. Okay, so here we go once again. It was just a few seconds. I don't remember, I was doing something and I was like, oh man, this is gonna be so fucking stupid because I'm recording the video and something happened exactly in the middle of the video. But anyway, you can see it's not cut or anything. This is one shot. We went straight for the node and we one shot it right after. Now we are going to apply ability block on Invisible Woman because I don't want her to use her special. The barrier is fine to get our cooldowns ready, but the special is very, very annoying and I don't want to deal with that. So once again, this is all about strategy. This is all about knowing the game. Do you know which characters are important? Which characters do the nasty when you are not prepared? If you know, you have no problem here. This is 100% skill based. Unless you want to pay. If you want to pay, then it's pay to win. But it can be skill based. But there are a few people that don't want this to be skill-based. Scopely, Boundless, and the whales that get their decard whenever they get number 1 because they pay to win. Okay, so here we go. We have 4 characters left and we have 6 on the field. I think I'm gonna clone someone else because this took so long. Let's see who I think I'm gonna clone Sabretooth. I think I'm gonna clone Sabretooth. Silver Samurai, even with all these bleeds, if he doesn't have defense down, be careful because he might not die. So pay attention to that. Luckily for me, he died, and now we have Mr. Sinister with more clones. Are we going to get more clones? Yes. Okay, so we get an additional Sabretooth. So now, the more Marauder allies and the more Weapon X allies that Sabretooth has, the more damage he will give. So now we have more Sabretooths getting more bonuses from all the other characters, and you can see right here that this is a great combination because even now the clone is going to do massive amount of damage because they are getting so many buffs from the passives of everyone else. He also gets the barrier, he also gets all the shenanigans that Silver Samurai gives, and now once again we are going to give offense up. Oh, we didn't. We have Mercy on Deadpool and we didn't even give the offense up. I think at some point I press auto and I just let it go to make sure I have all the cooldowns. You only need cooldowns on Silver Samurai, Omega Red and Emma Frost. Mr. Sinister and Sabretooth, they are disposable after this node. Okay, so you can see basic, auto basic, and that's the way you win. One shot, you don't need 5 teams on every single node. You can one-shot this if you know which characters to use, if you know which characters to attack, if you know which characters to apply ability block. That's all very important, and if you also understand the mechanics of the game, that if you have 2 Emma Frosts, you are definitely better than your enemies. Okay, so that's all for node number 4. Now we are going to take a look at the infamous node number 5 and the nightmare it was. Okay, so this is my tablet, this is my gallery, and this is the node, this is the last mutant node. Everything else here, from here probably, from here all the way until here, plus additional 10 that I deleted, that was all node number 5. And F this game, F this company, F Scopely, F Boundless. This type of bullshit is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Last time we were relying on OG Spider-Man dodging, and we had less than 1% of that happening. It was less than 1% that OG Spider-Man would dodge the attacks from Star-Lord T'Challa. This time you are praying for Kate Bishop to apply a blind to the right characters, because if she doesn't, you die. If she doesn't, you die. And my biggest problem was not Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl at 5 yellow stars, at 7 yellow stars, 5 red stars, she was fine, she did great. The problem was Miss Marvel, the problem was Kate Bishop. My 6 red stars, 6 yellow stars, Kate Bishop with Skirmisher Isolate, with Teal Gear. She was not able to apply negative effects to the enemies. With offense up, she was not able to apply the negative effects to the enemies. So this is 100% bullshit. If you are relying on applying negative effects to the enemies, at least please don't make the resistance of the enemies like 5 million, because it's just unnecessary. It's just ridiculous. We don't need that. You can... Once again, the Scourge events should be about using Scourges, not about random bullshit, random RNG. It was the same shit on the previous Scourge, it was the same shit on the Famine Scourge, or on the Pestilence Scourge, and now we have the same shit again. Why are you doing this? Is the War Scourge going to be exactly the same thing? You are praying for Thor to stun 10 characters on the field at the same time? Is this how it is going to be? Because it seems to be that way. Okay, so let's take a look at this node number 5 nonsense. Okay, so let's take a look at the infamous node number 5. We are going to use the OG Young Avengers, TikTok Avengers, American Chavez, Echo, Kate Bishop, Squirrel Girl, and Miss Marvel. I like to use Miss Marvel in the middle so I can get more triggers of the passive of Squirrel Girl. And that's the way to go. The positioning of this team is very, very important. These characters, Echo, she has more armor, Kate Bishop, she has more dodges, so they have additional survivability. And like this, you can trigger the passive of Squirrel Girl more often. American Chavez, even at level 65, I was able to get to the second wave. But once again, the biggest problem of this node, there are multiple problems, but the biggest problem is the Echo, the Kate Bishop focus. Even my Kate Bishop, 6 yellow stars, 6 red stars, Steel Gear, level 85, Eyes Away to Blue, level 3, plus additional focus from level 4, I was not able to land negative effects on the enemies. I was not able to land negative effects on the enemies. That was the biggest problem. Especially Deadpool. You can pay attention to Deadpool. She never gets any negative effects. It's such a bullshit. And then there are so many things that you need to take into consideration here. First, we have Taskmaster, that he has unavoidable attacks with his ultimate. Then we have Doctor Strange Supreme and Doctor Strange can revive Doctor Strange Supreme. So here I didn't use Black Bolt. Last time on difficulty 8, Black Bolt was great. Here I thought that it was better to use American Chavez because I need that defense down on Strange Supreme. And I also need defense down. I need to have the chance of applying defense down to Deadpool, because have you guys forgot that Deadpool is a ticking time bomb? She's a ticking time bomb. Every time she gets one of those charges, she gets 5% more drain, up to 20. And on top of that, whenever she has 5 charges, her next ultimate is going to delete one of your characters, unavoidable. She's going to delete one of your characters, so you have to defeat Deadpool before she has her last turn. Very, very important here. get rid of Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo is a very big problem. She is one of the reasons why I have so much problem with focus, because she is constantly applying this offense down to my team. Yes, I did allow Strange Supreme to do his ultimate, that's fine. They have enough amount of HP, the armor is trash, but they have the flex, defense subs and whatever. So I was able to survive it. You have to remember, if he doesn't have a lot of negative effects or positive effects, and if your team also doesn't have a lot of negative effects or positive effects, then you'll take less damage. And he's a striker, I think, so he doesn't even get the Raider nonsense. Okay, so we are done with the two Stranges, with the Strange Supreme and with the OG Doctor Strange. Now we have to go after Yo-Yo and we have to go after Deadpool. They are the most problematic characters here. I think I went after Deadpool first, because you only have two options. Or you ignore Deadpool and then she will kill one of your characters. Maybe it's going to be Squirrel Girl, maybe it's going to be American Chavez. Or you go after her first and we deal with this annoyance from Yo-Yo. I decided to go after Yo-Yo because I thought that I would still have time. And you can see, I gave the drain nonsense to them and they are still healing. That's fine, it's not a huge deal. But yeah, the biggest problem is the negative effects. Deadpool, 90% of the time that I try to apply negative effects to her, they would not stick. They would not stick. It's like she's the ugliest girl on Tinder. No one swipes right on her. And I don't know, she doesn't have any mechanic on her kit that gives her additional resistance. So why is this the case? The icon on the boss, the icon on the node is Strange Supreme, is not Deadpool. But she's the king or the queen of this node. She's definitely the character that causes the most problems. Okay, so as you can see now we have 5 characters on the field. We have the 5 characters plus Greg. And another thing is the RNG, like, it's not only the RNG of applying negative effects, it's also the RNG of Kate Bishop and Echo constantly attacking Greg, or constantly attacking Zemo when he has immunity. It's like whenever he has immunity, it has a magnet, so all the attacks go to him, and of course it's not gonna work. And if you try to flip the immunity, it doesn't work because it never works. You never have enough focus, even at 6 yellow, 6 red. Okay, so we are almost done here. We are almost done with Deadpool. We finally managed to apply some negative effects to her. So finally I got slow, finally I got blind, finally I got the defense down. And you can see that the game is no longer crashing. Finally, wow, maybe they did some change on their server or whatever, but it was ridiculous. It was crashing every 2 minutes. And today, or at least yesterday, it was not crashing anymore. So we go after Deadpool. We really want to get rid of her, because if we allow her to be together with the Elsas will get more drain, and Deadpool, she will get more critical strike chance, and you don't want that. One time I was almost beating this with a full team. I was on the second wave already, and then Deadpool did 1 million crit on my Miss Marvel with her ultimate, and it was not the charged version. It was not the 5 charges, it was just a normal thing. Okay, so as soon as the second wave drops, you want to have all abilities ready, because you want to flip the positive effects on Ebony Maw if you have the ultimate of Squirrel Girl. If you have the ultimate ready of Squirrel Girl, you want to flip the positive effects on Ebony Maw. If you don't, you want to use the ultimate of Kate Bishop. So you can see all my characters are on their knees, all the TikTok Avengers are on their knees, but we have Squirrel Girl. As long as we don't have any heal block, we are good to go. And now we have the special and we have the ultimate. You have to go for the special to heal up, and that's it. Now, when we have these characters, you want to focus on Sunfire. These videos are going for way too long. You want to focus on Sunfire and Ebony Maw. Those are your priority targets, but you want to make sure that the Elsas, they have offense down, or at least they don't have offense up. So you want to apply offense down to them with the ultimate of Squirrel Girl, and you want to use every assist from Miss Marvel to apply multiple vulnerabilities to them, so the offense subs are removed. Okay, so we are almost done here. We will have the unfortunate news soon, and Sunfire doing his big ultimate does a lot of damage, and it's very, very dangerous. You have to make sure that your team has death proofs, otherwise one of your characters might die. If you have the death proofs, they will not die, so that's the way to go. Finally, we use the ultimate of Kate Bishop once again. This is how long this battle is dragging. We are using the ultimate of Kate Bishop multiple times. And yeah, it seems that we are on a safe situation. Sunfire, I can't remember the name of this guy. So Sunfire is almost gone. The problem is Ebony Maw and his stupid ultimate. He's going to apply slow to us for 2 turns, and that ability does not trigger the passive from Squirrel Girl. So you have to be very, very careful with that. You want to make sure that whenever Ebony Maw is going to do his ultimate, that you have the special ready to clear those slows, otherwise you'll be in very, very big problems. Okay, so at this point, Sunfire is gone. We want to remove Hela, and we still have Yellow Jacket there in the corner. So yeah, we want to remove Hela because I have a bad feeling. I feel the bad mojo coming from Hela, and I feel that she's going to do something nasty, very, very nasty. And there we go, she did it. She killed my fucking Miss Marvel. Thank you very fucking much. So am I going to reset the node? No, I'm not going to reset the node. I'll go like this. If I cannot complete this run, that's fine. I don't give a shit anymore. I did the difficulty 9, I did number 5. I'm not going to repeat any of these. As I mentioned before, if I get top 500, or if I get top 1000, or if I get top 1500, that's fine. As long as I get 6 yellow stars rogue, even that I don't need it, it's still going to be fine. Okay, so now we keep going without Miss Marvel. RIP to Miss Marvel, RIP. And RIP also to the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! The guy died recently, and it's a very sad day, because if you didn't check out Season 0 of Yu-Gi-Oh! And the whole first show, you should definitely check out. Subs, of course, dubs are trash. Subs are 9 out of 10, dubs are like 4 out of 10, so it's a completely different show if you watch the original. Okay, so sad day, Miss Marvel died, the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! Died, and we have to keep going. This is the way of the Uganda. We have to keep going, and that's it. So I don't know what else to do. I don't want to pay to win. I don't want to do it. But we lost Miss Marvel, and I already lost 6 hours on this nonsense. I don't want to repeat it again, so I'm just gonna take the L and go all the way to the bank with the L. Maybe I'll get some food stamps rather than the jackpot, but that's fine. We keep still living. Okay, so that was node number 5. This was once again after 6 hours. I don't recommend this to anyone. This is not fun. This is not a challenge, this is not competition, this is just pay to win bullshit, frustration, for you to waste your bank, for you to sell your organs, for you to get an additional mortgage, and for you to sell your children. Definitely don't recommend this to anyone. Okay, so let's take a look at the next nodes. Okay, so we have the first villain node, and I was not exactly sure which characters I was going to use here. But I decided to use the team that I mentioned on my previous video with the Lady Deathstrike. This is like Lady Deathstrike, she's one of the best characters in the game. Silver Samurai is one of the best characters in the game. Omega Red, Agatha Harkness, Morgan Le Fay, one of the best characters in the game. And of course Emma Frost, also one of the best characters in the game. Last time we used Silver Samurai, this time we are going to use Emma Frost. Because difficulty 9, right? And the characters, the enemies have a lot more HP, so let's just play it safe. Let's make sure that we have as much turn meter as possible and that we can defeat the enemy. So, as I mentioned, you want to swipe Black Widow and Shang-Chi Preferably you want to apply vulnerability to Shang-Chi, so whenever you use the abilities of Omega Red you do more damage to him based on health steal rather than just normal damage, because Omega Red unfortunately doesn't do piercing damage. Okay, so with that said, let's use the ultimate, and once again I mentioned this in the past, you need to know exactly when to use the ultimate and when to use the special. The special gives you speed up, but the ultimate extends negative effects and applies slow to all the enemies. So if you have several ability blocks, stuns or whatever, you definitely want to apply slow to them and go from there. Okay, so after this there is nothing else to do. It's super easy, barely inconvenience. You just have to destroy them one by one. You can use the ultimate from Agatha Harkness. I decided not to because all my characters are pretty healthy. Unfortunately I had this disrupt here and it was quite annoying. I want to use the special there, but because of the disrupt, like if I use the special and I don't get the speed up, that's gonna be a waste. Okay, so Emma Frost is on her knees. She's only gear tier 15, level 81, so she's good to go. And that's it. Another node one-shotted. You don't need to use multiple SAC teams, you don't need to do any of that. You just need to know the enemies that you are facing, their abilities, how can you take advantage of them with Lady Deathstrike, with Emma Frost. And that's it, nothing special. 100% skill, 0% pay to win. Okay, so that's it. Now you just have to wait for the enemies to die. Maybe I should pass this forward. I decide to go after, what's her name? Yelena Belova, Too Many Pockets. And the reason why is because she was the one applying those disrupts. Very, very inconvenient. And I don't want any more of that. Okay, so now we have this Icarus, is all chest up, acting like a Chad, but there is a reason why we have Emma Frost here. So he doesn't go first. And with Omega Red we are going to apply ability block with trauma. How do you like that, boy? So we apply some trauma, some childhood trauma to Icarus. And now he's not able to do anything. Oh, he did his basic. He had one turn. Congratulations. Okay, so with Lady Deathstrike we are gonna keep giving more bleeds, defense downs to him, and with Omega Red and with Morgan Le Fay we are going to do the health steal, because the health steal is the best when you are facing this type of difficulties where it's completely nonsensical and you have to steal the health of the characters because they have so much health. Okay, so let's see, we apply the slow for all of them. We have Lady Deathstrike with her ultimate. I decided to use the basic because I want precision damage. So in this specific situation it would be nice to have her as a striker, but it would be a waste. We can still do it without it. So we have Skirmisher, 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 Striker on Omega Red, and Skirmisher also on Emma Frost. Very, very important to have Skirmisher on Emma Frost. You always want her to apply negative effects, to clear negative effects, and also to apply blind and to remove positive effects from the enemies. Very, very important. Some people use healer or whatever. No, the best way is the Skirmisher way for Emma Frost. Okay, so we have all characters alive, surprise, surprise, and we have two enemies left. We have Luke Cage and we have Killmonger without the skin. I noticed that every time we have Killmonger with the skin, Mr. Heartgrave, he always gets a hard on. I don't know exactly why, but it's always strange. But yeah, that's the way to go. Node number 6, villains, one-shotted once again. Now let's take a look at node number 7, villains once again. Node number 7 of the villains, let's go. Let's remove Lady Deathstrike, and this time we are going to use Dr. Doom, just to make sure that we finish this fast, because we have a lot of blasters and brawlers on the enemy team, and those guys can do some big damage, and they also have some nasty, very, very nasty negative effects, and we want to avoid that as much as possible, especially Spider-Woman, very, very annoying. And you have to be careful with She-Hulk. Whenever she gets these charges, whenever she gets 5 charges, she's going to apply all the negative effects she has on you. So you have to stun her. Now here you can use the special because you are not using any Scourges. If you are using Scourges on difficulty 8 or 7, you don't want to use the special there. And then Emma Frost does Emma Frost things. We can use her ultimate, we can use her special to make sure that we are safe. Okay, so I apply the blind on Spider-Woman because even with ability block her basic is dangerous because she applies defense down. Okay, so you can see I'm taking heavy damage. These blasters and brawlers, they are completely destroying me, but we are going to manage it. We have we have the A-Force and the Kitty Pryde to apply those disrupts. Very annoying, those disrupts. And Nico Minoru, I didn't invest on her, but pretty strong. Okay, so use the ultimate of Dr. Doom. We have Omega Red called for action once again. And Emma Frost, she's on her knees. Hopefully we can recover her because she's our queen. She has carried us throughout this huge journey on the mutant nodes and also on the villain nodes. Definitely the White Queen, and that's it. So we got rid of Spider-Woman and Jessica Jones. Those are the two priority targets. After that, you want to go after Iceman. You don't want any slows on your team. Usually only slows for one turn, but even one turn is problematic. And you saw there, Kitty Pryde, she completely destroyed my Emma Frost. RIP once again. And at this point, you want to apply ability block to Beast, and you want to get rid of Magic. You can ignore pretty much Phoenix if she has ability block with Trauma, or even without Trauma, it doesn't matter. As long as she has ability block, you are good to go. And we still have the She-Hulk. As long as she's stunned, that's fine, you can ignore her. She's not the fastest character ever, so you can keep ignoring her. Okay, so we still have the other Spider-Woman and Captain Marvel. Let's see if I don't forget about them today. And this time they spawned a lot early, so I was a little bit concerned because we have four problematic characters on the field. We have Beast, Magic, Spider-Woman and Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, she clears negative effects from herself, so you want to make sure that she's stunned or ability blocked with Trauma. Otherwise, you are looking for trouble. Okay, so we keep this journey, we keep going after Magic. It takes so long to beat these nodes, they have so much HP. Once again, zero skill, only pay to win. The higher you get your characters, the better. My characters are all level 85, you can see right here, all level 85 or lower, never level 86, because there is no fucking reason for Scopely to release the Scourge event whenever they release level 80, whenever they release level 90, unless they are trying to sack up, I don't know, unless they are trying to get as much cash out of your wallet as possible. This was the only reason why they delayed the event so much, to get as much money from your pocket as possible. And they did it. They completely did it. They are very smart on their business decisions. But let's see how long the community stays around. Let's see how long the community will accept this type of abuses from this company that is definitely trying to F you up. And you will see, this is my prediction, next patch or the patch after, whenever we have the next Avengers Tower, the next time we have Avengers Tower, Gear Tier 17 will be available. So once again, they are going to use a monthly event or the Scourge or the Avengers Tower or something like that. They will use these kind of events to make sure that you buy all the offers that they have for Gear Tier 17 and whatever, because let's be honest, they no longer have Dark Dimension 5, so they have to find other predatory ways even worse than Dark Dimension. Okay, so we go for the second ultimate of Dr. Doom. We finally got rid of Captain Marvel, of the Magic, of Beast and so on. So while Spider-Woman, she's very problematic, if you keep her under control it's not a big deal. And the Phoenix, you just ignore her. We'll eventually get to her and we'll get rid of her. But with so many ability blocks and stuns, it's not something you have to prioritize. We get Dark Phoenix here and it's over. So another one shot and that's the way to go. So this is the skills to pay the bills, not to get levels to level 90, and look how much I spent to beat these nodes. Okay, so we have now the Cosmic, Misty Cosmic. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so here we go, Cosmic Mystic on difficulty 9. I apologize, I'm getting out of energy. This video is going for over 1 hour. Hopefully we can cut this into 40 minutes or so. We are going to use the 2 Eternals, we are going to use Adam Warlock, and we are going to use Deadpool in order to one-shot this node. And we are going to try to max out the potential of Adam Warlock's ability block together with Deadpool spreading it. So that's going to be the goal. Make sure that we apply as many ability blocks as possible. Make sure that we apply as many slows as possible, because we have some nasty characters here. We have the nasty Squirrel Girl, we have the nasty Ghost Rider, and we want to make sure that those are not big problems. Because yes, even that Ghost Rider is the only Dark Hunter character, because all the other characters apply negative effects. He keeps going faster and faster because of his passive. Okay, so as you can see, we are doing just fine. Now we are going to apply ability block to Squirrel Girl, making sure that she doesn't do any healing. And now I'm going to apply stun on someone. I think it was on Moon Knight. I don't want any of his negative effects on me, especially the Disrupt and Blinds. The Eternals, they might be great, but Blinds is still a problem for them, and the Disrupts are also not very welcome. So this time we focus on Ghost Rider. Yes, people can learn from their mistakes. I definitely learned from 2 days ago that I need to focus on Ghost Rider, otherwise he's gonna wreck my ass. Once again, not only has insane amount of damage, but he's also getting more and more turn meter whenever the enemies apply negative effects to us. So we want to reduce the chances of that as much as possible. Okay, so let's see what I'm going to do. We are going to spread that slow and those bleeds to everyone, especially Moon Knight. Applying slow to Moon Knight, very, very important. And if they really wanted to make something nasty, they should have put Blob here. So game developers, if you want to really piss us off, put one Blob with 5 Moon Knights around him. That's going to be very, very cool. People will be definitely excited for that. If you want to be nasty, that's the way to go. Okay, so we got rid of, we still didn't got rid of, oh we did. We got rid of Ghost Rider. Now we have the Symbiote Spiderman, we have Spider-Punk, and we have Scarlet Spider. I try to get rid of Squirrel Girl. We don't want her to heal up any of our allies, and we have to pay attention to the kit of Symbiote Spider-Man, Spider-Punk, and Scarlet Spider. Symbiote Spider-Man, he only has 15% chance of dodging. The other Web Warriors, or the other Spider people, they have a 30% chance of dodging, and they also get evades. So you want to make sure they're not doing any of that, especially these 2 Web Warriors. That's why I brought Adam Warlock to try to stun both of them, and that will be the case. If we just stun one, that's fine too. I prefer to stun Spider-Punk because he applies the heal block, and I don't like that. So Scarlet Spider is still problematic, and Symbiote Spider-Man, you have to be careful. You don't want him to do his ultimate that applies stun to one of your characters. If you get one of your Eternals stunned and they don't have speed up, or they don't have their turn very, very soon, that can shut down the other Eternals. So that's a big problem. You definitely want to pay attention to that. Okay, so Symbiote Spider-Man, you can see the amount of damage this guy does with his basic is just insane. And now we are going to try to double tap it with Icarus, but of course he's blinded, or I don't know what happened. He's just doing little damage. 6 yellow stars, 6 red stars, Icarus, teal gear and whatever, but it's not good enough. You need 10 stars, 10 yellow stars, 9 red stars, otherwise you have no chance. Where is the mods? We need the mod system for Marvel Strike Force. I really like the mod system on Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, very, very interesting, and makes the characters unique, gives agency to your decisions. While in Marvel Strike Force, it's like everyone has exactly the same account. The accounts are interchangeable because everyone gears up the same characters. And on that game, on Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, I don't feel that. So I find that a little bit more interesting than they are doing here. Okay, so we got the nasty, we got the stun, we got the van, we got the green car, and we also got the slam from Symbiote Spiderman. So that's very nice. I like the animations of both of those characters. Unfortunately, we lost Adam Warlock, and we almost lost everyone else. Death Push is also on her knees. Let's see if you can still heal her up. She has drain based on how many charges she has, up to 20%, 5% per charge. And let's see if she is able to survive. She has the drain. That's it. Mystic characters gain 20% more drain. Phyla-Vell is the one that gives drain if there are any death proofs. So we are finally going to finish off Scarlet Spider. Then we are going to focus on Symbiote Spider-Man, and we can ignore Red Guardian until the last moment to get some of our cooldowns ready. Make sure that you pay attention when exactly you are using your abilities. You want to make sure that your abilities are always available at the start of the next node. This is also a type of skill. If it's like an organization, it's the timing, it's everything. It's very important that you train these to make sure that you always have the cooldowns ready when you are starting the next node. This is why I one-shot like from the 15 nodes on Dark Dimension 5, I one-shotted 13 of them. And that's why, because I always have very good cooldown management. And yeah, that's a very important skill that you need in this type of games. This video is going for 1 hour and 30 minutes, so yeah, I'm just tired standing up here talking nonsensical stuff. So we are going for node number 9, the last Mystic Cosmic node, and I was not sure exactly which team I was going to use, if I'm going to use Thanos and Ebony Maw or Thanos and the Strange Supreme. Both were possible options, but this was once again first try, first shot, or first try, one shot. That's the way I roll. Once again, I have OCD about not one-shotting nodes, and that's a huge problem for me. So I like to have the tools, and I like to know that there is no kind of shenanigans going on to stop me from doing that. Okay, so Icarus does Icarus things. We have the cooldowns ready for him to do his double ultimate. Now we do the same with Cersei, we do more turn rewind, but we lost Thanos. Unfortunately, he was one-shotted, and that's because he's level 80 or something. Even with the fortified eyes of weight, it was not good enough. I guess, I'm not sure who's faster. I think Killmonger is still faster than Thanos, because he gets the speed up from Shuri, and we don't have Proxima Midnight to give us speed up. But anyway, we keep going without Thanos. We have Strange Supreme, we have Dormammu, we have Cersei, and we also have Icarus. Some people ask me, can you do all these videos but without using the super premium characters like Dormammu? Maybe I can do that. We can think about it in the future, but I'm definitely not going to do any more videos on difficulty 8 or difficulty 9, because it's just a waste of time, and I don't want to waste my time. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it's summer. I want to enjoy the summer a little bit. It's like 500 degrees outside, so why not do that instead? And yeah, so we lost Strange Supreme. We have 3 characters left. Oh my god, are we still going to be able to one-shot it? Yes, of course. This is if you want to learn how to one-shot stuff, this is the place to be. This is the DuArktik channel once again. The more Emma Frost you get, the better. And I'm just tired. Oh my fucking god, I'm so tired. 1 hour and a half sitting. I'm not sitting, I'm standing. I'm standing here just talking nonsense and explaining stuff. Okay, so we have all these enemies. Once again, like, you use Icarus ultimate, you use Cersei ultimate, and you win. That's it. It doesn't require, even to do this, it doesn't require any skills. Maybe priority characters or whatever requires some skill, but beyond that, it doesn't. So there is the Maryhill there is the Kestrel. You want to remove Maryhill and Kestrel first. Once again, as I mentioned on my previous video, on spawn, everyone gets deflects, and that's why Mary Hill is a problem, because every time anyone blocks, there is a 50% chance that she will up for 25% of her max health. And 25% of her max health on this nonsense is a very, very big number. So you want to make sure that she's stunned with trauma, hopefully, and you want to make sure that you get rid of Kestrel before Kestrel does anything, and for that you have the stun of Cersei or you have the stun of Dormammu. Very, very important. Anyway, so we are still dealing with Mary Hill. As you can see, these characters are so beefy on difficulty 9, and it just takes time. I find it way more interesting to do the 60% multiplier HP on difficulty 8 than doing this on difficulty 9, because it just takes so much time. It's not like you have no chance. You still have a chance. You are like, I still one-shot most of the nodes. So it's not like this is a problem. It just takes so much time. It's not RNG based anymore. It's skill based, and it's patience based, I guess, because it takes so long. Okay, so finally we have the 3 characters left. We have Captain Sam, we have Iceman, and we have Kingpin. We can ignore Kingpin, it's not important. And Iceman, as long as he doesn't have any turn, that's fine. As long as he's not together with any Astonishing X-Men, that's fine. He can keep doing his passive, but his passive is irrelevant. As long as it doesn't apply any slows to us, we are good to go. Okay, so Iceman is gone, and now we can just put on auto. Please put on auto. Put on auto and finish this misery of node number 9. But yeah, Captain Sam, if you stun him, I think you can stop him from blocking. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, the stun unfortunately didn't last long. The special of Icarus didn't activate his block. He only blocks when it's convenient to him, as it seems. But yeah, we put on auto and it's just over. There is nothing else to do. We have node number 10, but unfortunately we don't have much to see on node number 10 because it's just bullshit. But let's take a look. So here we go, node number 10, and this node is super annoying. I recommend to you to sack the node with 1 Karnak and then sack the node once again with 1 Quake to make sure that Icarus doesn't have his ultimate or his special, otherwise you're gonna get wrecked. And yeah, I just don't want to deal with this node. With the node number 5, I had like 7 hours of recorded stuff that I was doing in order to beat it. And this one, I'm just done with this. I don't have Squirrel Girl because of that nonsense from Hela and Greg. And I don't want to deal with this anymore. It's a waste of time. 6 yellow stars, 200 shards, Squirrel Rogue, it's exactly the same as a Rogue with 6 yellow stars and 10 shards. Is exactly the same. So why am I going to waste time on these? You guys challenged me to do it. I did it to the last node, but I'm not gonna deal with this last node. If I had Miss Marvel, I would try it, but because I don't, I'm just going to ignore it. It's not a problem, but you need the armor from Squirrel Girl, you need the additional energy, and you also need the additional HP. So that's going to be very important. If you sack this node with 1 character each time to stop Icarus from having his cooldowns, you can even use 2 characters to make sure that you also waste the cooldowns of Valkyr. And if you have the full TikTok Avengers, that means all the Young Avengers girls, you'll be able to beat this very easily. I just don't have the patience anymore. This is a waste of time. And that's it. I took the challenge, I did it as long as I could, but I'm not gonna waste more time. And if you are struggling with these, just lower your standards. Remember, once again, 6 yellow stars, 200 shards, Rogue, it's exactly the same as the 6 yellow stars, 10 shards, Rogue. I'm just tired, this video is going for 2 hours. It's exactly the same, so it doesn't matter. My goal is not to get top 500. People were telling me, oh, you're not gonna get top 500 with that score. Well, I'm still there, and I don't care, because it doesn't matter. My goal was to get top 1500. It was not to get top 500. I'm glad I took the challenge of doing difficulty 8 with 200 plus Scourges. that was none of the content creators did any scourges because the difficulty increase gives more points, but that's a terrible design choice of this game mode. This is, once again, this is the Scourge event. This is not the difficulty event. We should be rewarded by doing more Scourges. So, if you have a difficulty 8 Scourge with 200 plus Scourges, it should give you 50% more points than doing difficulty 9 with no Scourges. But of course, on the brain dead people of Scopely, or maybe because they think they will not make money like this, because they are but mostly because they are brain dead, then doing difficulty higher is better. So what's the point of the fucking Scourges? Why are you adding new Scourges? You could recycle the Scourges from the previous event, having less trouble debugging this nonsense. You could do exactly the same Scourges, so why even bother? If the Scourges don't matter, why did you even bother adding new Scourges to the game? And that's the whole point. What's the fucking point of this game mode? This is what is this? Dark Dimension 2? Raids 2? This is just like Raids and Dark Dimension. If you don't have to use the Scourges, this is just Raids and Dark Dimension. There is nothing new on this new game mode. It's terrible game design. It's terrible for the community that there is no skill standard, there is nothing. It's just how much you pay. How much you pay is how much you are going to win. So yeah, the Scourges don't matter. But let's imagine that people on Scopely are actually watching this video, and let's give their thoughts for the game developers, for the people that develop these. The difficulty 8 plus 200 Scourges, so difficulty 8 plus 100 Scourges should give 25% more points than doing difficulty 9 with no Scourges. Difficulty 8 with 200 plus Scourges should give 50% more points than difficulty 9 with 0 Scourges. And difficulty 8 with 300 Scourges, even if it's possible, I'm not sure if it's possible, but difficulty 8 with all the Scourges should give you 75% more points than difficulty 9 with no Scourges. That's just obvious. This is good game design. You reward people for using the game mode, not just for paying up, swiping the credit card to get the characters to level 90 to do difficulty 9. That's good game design. Other thing that should be good game design, to reward players or to motivate players on using higher skill capped. Other thing that needs to be taken in consideration to show the higher skill of the players is one-shotting nodes, is losing as least characters as possible, rewarding players for using few characters. So even if you sack, you should sack with one character or two characters or whatever. That's important. And then one-shotting the nodes. If you one-shot the node, you should at least gain 10% more points on that specific node. It's just basic. If you double tap the node, then you get 5% more points. But there should be some reward for more skilled players. So what's the fucking goal? Is this a strategy game or not? What's the identity of Marvel Strike Force? Because I'm lost with this. I'm lost with this game. This game has no identity. These Scourge events are just copy paste of raids. There is nothing new. Node 9 was even copy paste from the previous Scourge. If the difficulty is what matters, this is not a Scourge event. This is just a raid. This is Dark Dimension. That's it. There is nothing new here to see. Which sucks. Which sucks. The game is losing its identity. The developers don't know what they want from this game, apart from making as much money as possible. They just want to make money. They listen to certain people that unfortunately give very, very bad advices in terms of what the game should be. The game should not be sim. That's not a game. I mean, it could be a game if it's like a Football Manager. You have FIFA and you have Football Manager. On FIFA, you play with each of the characters. In Football Manager, you manage the team and it seems by itself and gives you the result. Is this what you want? Do you want to play with the characters or do you want to sim everything? because those are two very different games. Some people would prefer FIFA, others would prefer Football Manager or Soccer Manager or whatever people call it in America. So where is the identity of Marvel Strike Force? It has no identity, but this is something that we can explore in a new video talking about game development and how bad this company is at it, because they definitely are terrible. They are listening to very, very bad advices. Oh, this is only a mobile game. Every time you say this is only a mobile game, you are downplaying the time that you spend on the game and the money that you spend on the game, because every time you say this is a mobile game, oh, this is just a piece of shit, this is not worth my time. It's like you are saying, oh, this is not worth my time, but at the same time it's worth all your money and all your time. So you have to decide, and you need to stop saying this is only a mobile game. Mobile games right now, many of them are esports, so why this game has to be any different? Why can you not take this game seriously? It's like any other hobby. If you are spending more than 30 minutes on it, if you are spending more than $5 on it, it's definitely a hobby that you find competitive. So stop saying that, oh, this is just a mobile game. What does that even mean? It's not Farmville. Is this Farmville? Just you have to tapa to collect the cereal and to clean the shit off the cows? No, it's not. So take it more seriously. Stop saying it's just a mobile game and that's it. Okay guys, so that's going to be the end of the video. I'm still at top 500 with my previous score, and like I mentioned before, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to waste money, resources and more time than I already wasted. I already wasted 3 days on this nonsense. I'm not going to waste any more time, and my goal is not to get top 500. My goal is to get top 1000. Once again, 6 yellow stars, 10 shards rogue is as good as a 6 yellow stars, 299 shards rogue as well. It's exactly the same. So there is no point for me in wasting more time here. If I get below top 1000, who gives a shit? It's fine, I don't mind. We'll be here still to do the best strategies, and this is what I'm competing against. And you are competing as well. This is what we are competing against. 41 million TCP. 41 million TCP. I have 1,400 days played, 3 hours plus per day. And this guy probably has the same amount of hours, but I have 23 million TCP. He has almost double of the TCP I have. So we cannot compete to these people. So this is a decision that Scopely has to make. Or they put all the whales together, and this is what they should do to see who is the smartest whale. I would like to see that. I would pay to see that. I want to see whales competing against each other. But we need some kind of brackets where people with the same TCP can compete with each other, because how can I compete with someone with 41 million TCP and I have 23 million TCP, when all that matters on the Scourge event, it's not the Scourges, but it's just the difficulty, and use as many SAC teams as possible, using 5 SAC teams per node in order to beat this event. Is this the way? This is definitely not the way, and I decided to not give a shit anymore about this because I'm feeling burned out. I don't want to play this game anymore. I'm having way better time playing other games because this is just bullshit. This is just bullshit. The event is bullshit. Scourge event requires 0 Scourges. Okay, go ahead and do that then. But you are losing more and more players every single day, and I guess you are getting enough money from these guys, but how long will these guys stay around? Well, I guess as long as you keep sucking on their dick. So yeah guys, that's going to be the video. I hope you guys enjoy it. This is going to be a long one. I'll take like 2 hours to edit this, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Leave me a comment below what you think about everything that we talked about. Game development, the types of game modes. Is this all the same? Do you like to blitz? You like to sim everything? Do you like a strategy game like Final Fantasy VII, or do you prefer a strategy game like Football Manager? Let me know all of that in the comments below, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll catch you guys later.